sir.
Good morning, all of you. I must congratulate Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Mahavidyalaya, Pet Vadgaon's IQAC to organize this national e-conference on initiatives towards quality in higher education and understanding NAC pathway. Earlier speaker, Dr. Chowgule sir, has given very crucial information on the criteria number 1 and 2. Now the question is, am I to complete all the remaining criterias or what? I think upon it. Of course, I will try my level best to cover all the remaining criterias. However, I would like to have some more time, and the organizers may please bear with me. Of course, you have that power or authority to stop me as and when you feel so. Okay, sir?
Okay, sir.
The understanding of NAC pathway that needs to bear in mind some prerequisites for assessment and accreditation. We need to plan very strategically. Each and every activity we need to plan very meticulously. The first requirement is there must be an involvement of all the stakeholders, and each one should have a sense of belongingness so that he will act at his own or at her own. So there should not be any grouping, but group should have a cohesion group. There must be an unity. Somewhere I have visited as an active team member, and I have seen that there are grouping in the staff, and that hampers the quality of the college, and it leads to give a wrong message and deterioration of the quality of the college, and also the deterioration in the score and the grade. So there should not be any kind of grouping. There should be groups, but the group must have a cohesion and unity. The collaborative approach is necessary. Each one has to know his own institution. Each one has to analyze the institution in terms of strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges before the institution, before the courses, and so on. There must be a positive and proactive leadership. Leadership does not mean only the principal, only the management. Leadership includes the heads of departments, the chairmen of different committees. Everyone needs to work as a proactive leader. The management is also required to be a supportive in all the respect. Performance of tasks on time is essential. Then the relevant and quality academic environment is to be created. Equitable access, affordability is to be ensured. Optimization of integration, modern technologies. We need to use modern technology for our teaching, learning, and evaluation process as well. There should be a credibility of assessment and accreditation. We must ourselves shall be able to assess ourselves, a kind of self-assessment. The institute must try to augment and maintain the supportive system, the infrastructure, and allocate it to each department or accordingly in proper way. Sharing of research findings, and for this we need to have a network under the MOUs, etc. Now we need to bear in mind when we are going for assessment and accreditation by NAC. The NAC has devised the 4 core values, and while assessing the institutions, these core values are kept in mind. So we need to keep in mind in our each and every institute is contributing to the national development. How that matters. and that is our role to explain and bring into actual. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay, sir? Now?
Yes, yes. It's okay, sir.
Am I audible and everything is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just a minute.
Everything is okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah, just a minute. I would like to have my recording. You may please give the copy later on
Yes, sir.
to me, so that it will not be a question. Okay. Now, in this way, the core values of the NAC needs to be kept in mind, fostering global competencies among students. We are living in a globalized scenario, and our student must be able to communicate. He must be able to grab opportunities worldwide. Accordingly, we need to mold our students. Then what we are doing in this direction. Then inculcating the value system among the students. If one has so many skills, very knowledge, and so everything is there, but he doesn't know the value system where he is working at place, then it will create so many problems. So the values relating to the society, relating to the area where we are working at, we need to keep in mind. Then promoting the use of technology, as I said earlier, and quest for excellence. Every time we will try for excellence. Now, the Chowle sir already has, Samant sir already has given the idea about revised accreditation and assessment framework. It is more emphasis has given on ICT, information technology. More objectivity has brought in, and transparency also. So accordingly, our shift must be there has minimized the human interference, and maximum quantitative assessment is brought in. Accordingly, 70% evaluation will be on the machine, and 30% evaluation will be by the peer team. Likewise, extensive use of ICT is expected. There is reduction in number of questions, then benchmarking is brought in. Pre-qualifying year for peer team visit, that is 25% score must be augmented by, must be received or earned by the institution from the quantitative matrix. And there is differentiation between the institutions. Earlier there were only 3 kinds of institutions. Now there are 4 kinds of institutions: the universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges, UG and PG likewise. And more involvement of the students and alumni has also given more emphasis. About 10% score depends upon the student and alumni information. Sir has rightly elaborated the feedback system, and for which 6% weightage has given. And also 40% weightage is given to the other questions relating to the students and alumni. This is the distribution of criteria, metrics, and key indicators. You might, as I said earlier, there are the institutions have divided into 4 groups: universities, autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges, or constituent colleges, that means UG and PG. And the key indicators for all these kinds of organizations are only 7. Then there are 3 key indicators, 34 key indicators for university and affiliated autonomous colleges, and 31 to UG affiliated colleges, and 32 to the PG affiliated colleges. Quantitative metrics are there, qualitative metrics are there. In case of university, 36 qualitative metrics are there. In case of autonomous colleges, 35, and the UG colleges are the same, and PG colleges for 36. Earlier, there were 41 qualitative metrics in the earlier methodology. Then quantitative metrics in case of university 79, autonomous college 73, UG college 58, and PG college 60. Earlier, these were in case of affiliated constituent colleges, there were 80. Thus, the number of questions have drastically reduced from 121 to 93 in case of UG colleges and 96 for PG colleges as such. There are 7 criteria. I don't want to discuss more on it. The outcome of this assessment and accreditation in terms of score, grades, and accreditation status, it is depicted. This is the score. We need to score at least 1.51 in order to be a college to be called accredited. Likewise, this score will go on, and accordingly you will get B, B+, B++, A+, A+, A++ grades, etc. Now, the preparation of self-study report, what is necessary for that? Number one is the executive summary. That needs to give introductory note on the institution. That must include location, vision, mission, type of institutions, etc. Criteria summary for all 7 criteria in about 250 words. Then SOC analysis of the higher education, your college. Any additional information you need to highlight or bring to the notice of the NAC as well as the peer team. And overall conclusion to be given. This total summary should be limited to 500 words, 5,000 words. Now, sir has given criteria number 1 very lucidly. I will skip that. Criteria number 3, the research, innovation, and extension. There are 7 key indicators in all. However, out of these, 3 key indicators are not applicable to the UG colleges. Promotion of research finance facilities, then innovation ecosystem and consultancy. But these are, and the numbers, they are the weightages for the key indicators. In case of UG colleges, 110 total weightage is there for this criteria number 3. In case of PG colleges, it is 120. In case of autonomous colleges, 250, and in case of university, it is 250. Now, I would like to throw upon light, flood on the activities that needs to undertake under in the criteria number 3, research, innovations, and extension. The college must avail adequate resources for this research facilities, etc. It must encourage involvement of teachers and scholars in research activities. The research activities should be relevant to the local area where the college is located. Recognizing achievements of the teachers through research. If a teacher has achieved some, a teacher has prepared a research paper, presented or published the research paper, a teacher has completed his research degree, MPhil or PhD, he must be felicitated at least in the college, so that an atmosphere will be created and encouragement to the others will be there from that. There should be a policy, practices and outcomes of the institution with reference to research, innovation, and extension. The efforts by the institution are to be taken to promote research culture. It is to enhance, enable faculty to undertake research projects useful for the society, as said earlier. Serving to the community is most important activity, extension activity that needs to be highlighted and to be practiced through the involvement of students and all the teacher community as well. It needs to undertake social responsibility. and we in such a pandemic situation we must be able to make aware the people how is behavior, what kind of lockdown is there, and how we are to behave in this condition, how we can keep away from this pandemic ourselves. This needs to make aware of the this situation to the local people. Then resources mobilization for research, there should be innovative ecosystem should be there. Research publications and awards, consultancy, extension activities and collaboration should be established well in order to get a good score under this criteria number 3. Criteria number 4, that is infrastructure and learning resources. You may find there are 4 key indicators: physical facilities, library as a learning resource, IT infrastructure, maintenance of campus infrastructure. And this criteria has a weightage of 100 for all kinds of organizations. What infrastructure and learning resources are with us? How many classrooms, what kind of classrooms, seminar halls, what are the amenities available in the classroom and the seminar hall, what kind of labs and laboratories are with us. We are running a science course, science program, there would be a laboratories of different subjects: chemistry, physics, geography, and so on. So what kind of laboratories and labs are established? Computer lab may be there, commerce lab may be there. How these labs are maintained, how they are used, how they are maintained, and who has a responsibility to upkeep these laboratories as well. And what is about the waste management from the laboratories, how it is dealt with. That is important part, and this need to be taken into account. The library system, how the library is automated. Nowadays, the NAC is also emphasizing more on the automation of the library. So up to what extent the library is automated, accession to the books and journals is how is it made available to the students, teachers, etc. How the library is maintained, then the cleanliness and the maintenance of the books and back volumes, etc. How the shelves, stands, and cupboards are arranged. How much is the reading space available for the students, teachers, etc. and its arrangement also, so lighting, etc. Then books, titles, collections. I also experienced in the visits. Sometimes the librarians are unable to differentiate the collection and titles. So this should be clearly mentioned. A librarian must be aware about this. Number of journals, periodicals, newspapers, etc. Then sports facilities. What kind of sports facilities are available in the college? Whether the gymnasium hall is there, playground is there. Sometimes there may not be a playground available to the students. Sawant sir rightly pointed out the example of LBS College Satara. They don't have playground, but they have performed well by availing these facilities on rental basis and on cooperation basis. This kind of activities may be made available. The implement, what kind of implements are available, space, utilization of and maintenance of the apparatus and all these implements. Then whether hostel facility is there, HATS at many higher education institution is that. There are, I have also seen several colleges have built hostel buildings, but they are either kept idle or they are misused. So this should not be happen, because when the peer team visits our institute, they observe very meticulously. They are learned people. and they know what is what. So whatever the facilities we have, that should be in a position to use in proper way and maintained in good condition. Then how much, in what kind of infrastructure, in IT infrastructure we have, how it is maintained, and what is the maintenance policy. So all these points needs to be highlighted upon. There may be infrastructure, maybe classrooms, smart rooms, along with LCD and so on. Then conference hall, seminar hall, there are different cabins, IQAC rooms, administrative staff room, and then examination room, laboratory, lab, NCC room, and different cycle bank, reading room, computer lab, gymnasium hall, women's hostel, playground, washroom. These all these things needs to be highlighted and to be kept clean. Water purifier, canteen facilities, ramps for the differently enabled students, fire safety. All these facilities, infrastructure facilities must be kept well. Then criteria number 5, student support and progression. In case of the UG colleges, NAC has given more weightage to this criteria. 140 weightage is given, and for PG colleges, the weightage is 130. In case of university and autonomous colleges, it is 100. And there are four student support, student progression, then student participation and activities, then alumni engagement. What kind of student support we have offering to? Mentoring, student facilities for different activities, teaching resources, feedback, benefits for benefits of different services or different schemes. Then awards. The awards may be sponsored by the institution, sponsored by the teachers, sponsored by the philanthropists, etc. Then extracurricular openings, placement cell, exposures to different activities, the practicals, etc. Visits, the student council, then sports activities at college, sports facilities, gym, etc. I have talked about. Then motivation and encouragement is most important, because I have seen that as a teacher, so many times it happens that the students comes to the teachers with their difficulties, and teacher says, oh no, this is not a time to contact, I'm going to home, it is not my time. Likewise, the teacher's attitude is there. This kind of attitude should not be there. Please, all the parents, I will request all the parents, do not do this, because we are there for these students and we need to clear their doubts in all respect. Then activities beyond curricular, then the counseling cell should be there. The counseling may include teaching as well as other activities. The personal difficulties may be there to the students that needs to be addressed. Grievances redressal cell should be there. This is the mandatory nowadays, and we need to keep the record. The committee is there, and that cell has to conduct meetings and keep the record of meetings also. Remedial coaching, the Sawant sir has told it already. Different kinds of clubs to inculcate the among the students the habits of discussion and deliberations. Then NSS, NCC activities. Then what the student centered activities, add-on courses must be there. Then certificate courses. These are some examples of the certificate course. I will not go into detail. The different kinds of scholarships may be available to the students, and we must try to see that no one should strive for that scholarship. One who is eligible, he should get the scholarship. we all are responsible to make available the scholarship to the students, and accordingly we are to work in the college. There should be a merit scholarship, UGC scholarship, a scholarship for reserved category students, scholarship of physically handicapped students, poor student fund. There might be the students who are not included in the other scholarships. Sometimes it happens that when I was working as a principal, so many students were coming that they belong to the reserved category, but they could not produce the documents required for availing the facility of the scholarships. And the questions was how these students can be helped. Some students were living apart from their students. The separated parents were there, and the students were living at their relating to that, continuing their education. In such kind of students, we need to form a poor student fund. We had established a birthday fund from which we were collecting some amount voluntarily. If today if my birthday is on 22nd September, on this day I would like to, instead of hello sir, hello, hello.
Sir, please continue, sir.
Some noise was there.
Oh, sorry for
I
that,
think
sir. Please continue.
some was calling to me.
No, sir.
Sorry. My experience was we had established a birthday fund, and so many students, teachers were contributing to that fund on the eve of their birthday, and a sizable amount was being collected, and from that amount we were able to help such poor students who were badly needed the financial help. Then receipts, concessions, then awards by stakeholders, as I told earlier, financial assistance to the staff as well as students, adoption of students, one of the activity was there. Some philanthropists were adopting such poor students for their all kind of needs and for betterment of their higher education. Student insurance scheme should be there. Then what kind of activities we can have for the students? Wallpaper, then allocations, different kinds of competitions, allocation competition, rangoli competition, mehndi competition, crafts competition, etc. The essay writing competition, recipe competition, Aviskar research competition is there, youth festivals are there. So many activities can be performed if we take it into our mind, as Sawant sir very rightly said. Help to drought and flood affected people. We need to inculcate such a kind of thinking among the students that we are a part of society, inseparable part of the society, and we need to understand the problems, issues of the society, visiting to their places actually. And likewise, we are to work. Then cultural activities, there may be different kind of cultural events. The commerce talent search competition, different competitions may be there at university level, tehsil level, college level, etc. Health, blood group and HB checking camps can be conducted. Blood donation camps are regularly conducted. The annual magazine of the college should be must be there to give opportunity to the budding writers. Book exhibition should be there in order to bring to the notice of the students as well as teachers what new arrivals are and what kind of books are available, what we are to read, and what we have read and what we are to read in the near future. Exhibition of medals, flags, postal stamps, rare coins, old postcards, etc. Then plantation of diversified trees in the campus, around the campus can be undertaken. Students' achievements in the sports at college level, zonal level, university level, state, national and international level should be encouraged through well plan, and that there should be felicitation of the students for every achievement. That why not that may be at the college level. The achievement felicitation of a student before all other students, that will encourage others to take part in sports and try for their level best. I will say one example. Wilma, the American lady who secured 4 gold medals in Olympic recently, she was unable to walk itself without a walker, but she could try. She couldn't leave their efforts. She tried, and she could be able to get 4 gold medals in the. So likewise, this can be happen in our students also. We need to be positive. Then student progression. This area we always neglect. How is to be stress out in the student progression? At the time of, there should be a system in the college when the student asks for their transfer certificate to be transferred to another place where they are going for higher education. The students are to ask to fill some forms, and accordingly that system, while taking the transference application for transference certificate, that kind of data will be traced out, and we will be very easily trace out our progression of our students. At the same time, we should have a record of the transference certificate at the college level, and it is there. Then the criteria number 6, governance, leadership, and management. These criteria has weightage of 100 score in all kind of organizations. There are 5 key indicators: institutional vision and leadership, strategy development and deployment, faculty empowerment strategies, financial management and resource mobilization, and internal quality assurance system. So in this case, I would like to throw upon some light upon the different aspects. The institutional vision and leadership. The institute, every institute has its vision statement, mission statement. But I have seen the vision statement that is designed 25 years back. It is as it is. Nobody has even looked upon it. But we can change our vision statement, mission statement after 5 or 10 years. And this kind of revision is to be there according to the need of the time, according to the need of an hour. Accordingly, we can change our vision statement. Then strategy deployment. The strategy deployment should be proper. Sufficient staff must be there for this purpose at the outset, because nowadays it is, because of the government policy, it is not the fault of any institution or management. It is the policy of the government not to fill all the posts. Nowadays 40% posts were to be filed. Then the government has changed its mindset in Maharashtra to file now 80% positions. But the time is yet to come when that positions will be filled. And the actual recruitment will be there. Frequent meetings of various bodies, committees must be there. You can have different bodies, different committees in the college, where the college development committee is the supreme one. Then IPSC and other statutory bodies must be there. That should not be on paper. That should be working, and their work should be displayed with the help of their proceedings. The faculty empowerment. This is another key aspect where we need to think very different way. Is welfare schemes for the staff. Loan scheme may be there. Advances may be given to the staff. medical reimbursement, etc. Then staff upgradation, deputation for orientation courses, refresher courses, deputation for research to, in order to have PhD or MPhil research. This kind of approach and atmosphere must be there to give an opportunity to the faculty members. There should be proper encouragement for participation in workshops, seminars, faculty development programs, etc. at the college level. Many times it happens that in some colleges I have seen that the teachers are not allowed to attend the refresher course, orientation course. The teachers are not allowed not allowed promotions. This kind of activity should not be there, because if there are 5 professors in a college, it is credit to the college. But in some colleges I have seen, it is very sad to say that the teachers are not allowed to even apply for the professor post. This should not be the practice, because this you are deteriorating your quality yourself. So this kind of practice should not be there. So encourage the and discourage should not be there for the promotion. Number of programs for administrative the staff development program, like a faculty development program, there should be a staff development program for administrative staff. Different kinds of workshops and can be organized in the college, as well as this staff can be deputed for the. I will give one example of my earlier college where I was working as a principal. There was very good development program, the skill development program, I will say, and every college has to depute at least one clerical person, one class 4 person, and 2 teachers, like this. Then I deputed one peon, one clerk, and 2 teachers. Then that clerk and the peon came to me and said that, sir, no, sir, this is not possible to me to go to this distant place. My family problems are there, and I will not be able to spend that much amount. I promised that clerk and the peon that I will bear your cost if you wish so. Accordingly, I compelled that 2 fellows to go into that staff development program. It was for a week, and surprisingly, when the course was completed, the program was completed, and both of them directly come to my chair, and they greeted me, they thanked me for deputation, because they got such kind of information, such kind of activities that they couldn't learn even in their life anywhere. And such kind of activities can be happened in the college for the development of the staff, development of the faculty, and all. So we must have a positive attitude towards this developmental part of the human resource of the college. Then the IQAC, that is also one big story. Who should be appointed as the coordinator of the IQAC? Kisko bakra banana? Yeah, nowadays it is the situation at several colleges. अरे तो IQAC कोड, इसको तो IQAC कोऑर्डिनेट बनाना चाहिए. ये बहुत ऐसा कुछ करता है ना, इसकी तो जिराना चाहिए, याची जिरवली पाहिजे, अशा प्रकारची ॲटिट्यूड घेऊन कोऑर्डिनेटर्सची अपॉइंटमेंट केली जाते. इट इज व्हेरी सॅड दॅट द कोऑर्डिनेटर शुड बी proactive. It should be equivalent to the vice principal. It should act for the betterment of the college. He should act for the betterment of all the stakeholders of the institutions. He should bear in mind the quality of the college. He should get involved in each and every activity. He should build an attitude of survival of all. Likewise, the IQS coordinator should be there. Of course, such kind of qualities may not be there with any one person, but a person need to develop himself or herself accordingly. Because the IQSC coordinator, IQSC is the body where the quality of the college is concerned. It is the way to improve the quality of the institution, and the major role is to be played by the IQSC coordinator. That is why IQSC coordinator must be positive. He must involve in all the activities of the college. He must motivate others. Somewhere I have seen that the IQSC coordinator never speak with others. Cannot be happen. That cannot work, because you are to work for the college. College is not separate from IQSC and IQSC coordinator. IQSC coordinator is part of the college, crucial part of the college. He must have linkages, he must have connections, he must have relations with all the stakeholders of the college. Okay, then the IQSC must be active. IQSC must organize some seminars, conferences, and research. It should build research culture. And the most important and responsibility nowadays is lodged within the IQSC is preparation and submission of IQRs on time. Because nowadays we are to submit all the IQRs every year within 6 months after the completion of the academic year. That means the date is fixed by the NAC. Before 31st December of each year, you need to submit your AQR of the previous year. In order to have a good governance, we need to establish several committees in the college. This is the list of colleges. When I was working as a principal, I was established about 56 committees, and at least one meeting was being conducted each semester. Accordingly, if we try to cultivate a sense of activeness among the faculty members, they will definitely work. They will definitely work. So we need to form all these committees: the IQSC, Library Advisory Committee, NAC, NCC, then Planning Board, National Service Scheme, RUSA Committee, Purchase Committee, Equal Opportunity Committee. These are the different committees. These are the API Verification Committee, the Hostel Committee, then Gymkhana Committee, Internal Complaint Committee. It is mandatory nowadays to establish ICC in each institution, higher education institutions by law. Then Student Welfare Committee, Staff Welfare Committee, Feedback Committees. Different schemes are being implemented in the institutions. A separate committee should be there for each scheme. Then Cultural Committee, Wallpaper Committee, etc., etc. There should be a clear-cut organogram of your institution, that who is the top authority in your institution, the management, governing body, the principal, and the principal will be helped by the IQSC coordinator, IQSC committee, different other committees, and college development committee. Then there should be department heads of the departments, then parent teacher association, office superintendent, alumni association, then administrative staff should be there working under the operations superintendent or the registrar, whatever it may be. Then the faculty room, faculty members, and ultimately we all are to work together for the betterment of our students. Then now last criteria number 7, institutional values and best practices. Again, all types of institutions have the same weightage 100, for this criteria. There are three key indicators: institutional values and social responsibilities, best practices, and institutional distinctiveness. In this case, I would like to say something. Institutional values and social responsibilities. Nowadays, every institution has a mandate to be responsive to at least a few pressing issues. Pressing issues should be addressed. The issues that are in the locality of the college, that should be addressed first. And at the same time, we are to address the issues such as gender equity, environmental consciousness and sustainability, inclusiveness and professional ethics. Of course, how these can be achieved, how this can be maintained. In case of certain activities, we need to have separate efforts. We have to have separate programs in order to address the issues, social issues. But some social issues and gender issues, then environmental issues can be addressed through this syllabus, because there are so many poems, one-act plays, or the different types of literatures are there, which addresses these all issues. And we are going to focus on these activities by teaching of these sections, and we are going to address the concerned issues. For example, professional ethics. In case of commerce students, management ethics are there, and in the course of management, the professional ethics are taught. So likewise, we are going to bring to the notice of the students as well as teachers that we are addressing such issues in different ways, and we are going to highlight all those in our SSR as per the questions requirement. But the way it addresses the what is the definition of best practice? Best, what we can implicate, what you imagine when the word best is pronounced. Best means best. It is good rather than others. So there are not any active prescribed by an activity prescribed by some authorities. These activities should not be performed by any other institutions. This activity should be your own activity in your college, best to be called as a best practice. In case of cycle bank scheme, when I was working as a principal, the cycle bank scheme was introduced in the college, and it was the best practice, because no college has yet practicing this kind of activity. The 100 cycles were collected from different philanthropists, and the cycles which are idle in the hands of different students or in the houses of parents. And the college staff collected such cycles, and they got repaired. Some donors also give such cycles after repairing these cycles, and the college was able to collect 100 cycles in that cycle bank scheme. This can be a best practice. Accordingly, on the need basis or the basis of prevailing conditions of the college, the prevailing place of the college, if your college is at hilly area, some different kinds of activities may be there. So these best practices should be accordingly. Then institutional distinctiveness.
Sir, please.
Distinctiveness, that is,
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, please describe that cycle bank system in detail.
Yes. Yes. The cycle bank. Many of the students was coming by walk for about 4-5 kilometers. But then some teachers from our college thought that they had their cycles of their children, and they were not being used by their children also. They were idle. Then those teachers thought that why not to get repair and put to use to the needy students. Accordingly, they raised the issue in the college, and it was discussed in detail and had a meeting with all the staff members, all the stakeholders, the management also. And the local management committee was there at that time. And the local management committee members were also involved in that meeting. And likewise, about 40-50 cycles were being donated by the some social persons, the teachers, and some neighborhood people also. And then we put that issue before the management people, and we requested them to contribute to some extent. To a surprise, you will find that the management people contributed 50 new brand cycles for that scheme. Such a way, we could able to collect 100 cycles, and those cycles are being given to the students to be used by the students for a year. Minimum charges of ₹200 are charged for a year for the equipment of that cycle. And when the cycles are being deposited into college bag, at that time these cycles are being repaired if necessary. And for this purpose, these 200 were being used. Accordingly, this cycle system, after this scheme, at that time, the Vice Chancellor of Shivaji University was Dr. Manikrao Salunke. He appreciated the scheme. The college given that information to the Vice Chancellor, and accordingly, Dr. Manikrao Salunke implemented that scheme in the Shivaji University area also, but it could not succeed. Nowadays, the scheme is at present in place there, and it is in practice. Likewise, you can have best practices according to your need and the institutional situatedness. Then the institutional distinctiveness. How are you different from other institutions? What needs to identify distinctiveness? What different activities are with you which are not available, which are not practiced at your neighborhood colleges or nearby colleges? This will be, there is no any kind of specific distinctiveness. The distinctiveness is the only way to come out with the distinctiveness is how we are different from others in a particular activity. That is our distinctiveness. You are to specify it clearly, and we are to give the information in a format given by the NAC accordingly. Thank you. I may be very hurriedly run up, but I couldn't complete it within an hour. I thank the organizers, the principal, the management of the college, the Mr. Mote sir, then the principal of the college, all the stakeholders and all the participants in this conference. I was looking there. There were so many friends were there. Dr. Chaugle from Kankavli College. One is from Mr. Chetty from Vishakhapatnam is there. So many distant friends are there. I am very much thankful to all you people for giving me an opportunity to share my views, and thanks once again. Over to the organizer.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, we we loved the definition given by you about the coordinator. And we totally agree with you that because we too have a coordinator like Mr. S.S. Wadve, who is with a personality like omnipresence. That is why we could organize such a webinar. Thank you once again, sir, again for your knowledge.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations for congratulations.
Again,
Yes.
thank you so much for giving us the insights about the various committees, their charts, their functionings, and as well as that organogram was very, very interesting. Thank you once again, sir.